It's Maple Hill in the fall and the 2023 Massachusetts Grand Prix, presented by Sunstein LLP. What better time and place is there to be than the world's #1 disc golf course and the best season to be in New England? Greatest media team has been with us all season, as this is the championship event of the New England-based Sunstein Series. Alongside Rivas Marcon Scragg, my name is Steve Abreu, I'm the tournament host. You're about to watch the final round of the Grand Prix. In round 1, all the Grand Prix competitors played the checkered flag layout, which is a mix of white and diamond holes. And Harry Chace shot a 1062 rated 7 under par. The top 4 competitors made the cut to the final round. One of these players is going to be taking home $2,000. Rivas, why don't you introduce us to the final 4?
Thanks for having me, Steve. I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, we have Harry Chace, who's in a lead by 1, versus Paul Krans, his teammate, this media teammate. And Paul Krans had an unbelievable season. We'll see if he can cap it off with this championship event like you were talking about. Third, we have Gillis MacDougall, who I have actually never seen on coverage. It's going to be exciting to see his discs as well as what he does at Maple. And last but not least, who we've seen a few times, he's a veteran here, Josh Dibattista. He has 70 wins under his belt.
So Josh and Harry made the final 4 in the last year. Here are our notes for this year's Grand Prix. As you mentioned, Rivas, can Paul Krans cap off one of the best local seasons in recent memory? And he basically won everything that mattered in New England this year. How will the players adjust to the difficult conditions? We had a windstorm today, and it'll be interesting to see how these players can handle it on a very difficult gold layout. And then, as we just saw the 4 players, 1,000 rated card. Just unbelievable the caliber of players we have up in the New England region of this country.
Might even be 1,002 rated. These guys are so good. This is a great look at the past champions. I love what you did here with this particular plaque. It looks awesome here.
Yeah, so year-round, the winners will be up on that sign, and it's just a nice carrot to win the tournament.
Lead card.
Here I am announcing Harry, who's going to lead off our final round.
In the first round, Harry Chace.
Harvey Chance!
Harry's going to be throwing his cloud breakers because he's going to try to get as much distance as possible. And what an absolute rip here. Look, it's still going.
He throws a mile, and that thing hyzer flipped up and then just went dead straight. A beautiful starting drive.
Shooting 6 down, Josh.
He's in a really good spot, and I think the other players are going to be jealous where he is because this is really tough to land your disc there with this type of wind. Here's Josh Dibattista with this Glow Thunderbird.
And it's heading right. And when I say right, I mean right. It's way out there, but it's dry, and he'll have a shot, an upshot, maybe to the mouth.
6 under par,
Paul got a nice read from Harry, so he's going to be throwing his PD2 here. Most likely just going to be looking to stable out, get up there on the left side, ride the wind a little bit. And going back to what you were talking about with Paul, I mean, he's rookie of the year. I was hoping he would get that status, but I know he played a few NPO events last year.
So Gillis, this is his second Grand Prix. He played AM1 at the inaugural event. First time playing the Grand Prix as a pro, had a really good season, and making this final round card is such an accomplishment for him. He's sponsored by Clash.
Yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere, and he had a stellar season coming from 980 rating all the way to 1004 right now, currently. And that was his salt. He's sponsored by Clash Disc, so you're going to be hearing me say some weird names here.
I like their theme, though. That food-based theme is kind of fun. So here's our traveling party for round 2. We normally have more people, but the weather, it wasn't raining, but it was inclement. And I think this is Paul's shot here.
Yeah, Paul's going to be throwing his second shot right to the mouth of the fairway, and here's going to be Josh Dibattista. It was chilly. It was about 38 degrees. With the wind chill, it felt below freezing. I don't know about you.
It was cold, yeah, cold and windy. Josh had to put a move on it just to get it to the mouth. Here's Gillis's upshot.
He'll be a little bit cut off on the right-hand side. He's going to have to get a little crafty with the forehand, most likely pitch out. And here's a look at Harry. I mean, look at this drive. I mean, some of the top touring pros land here, and he just made that look really effortless with this also turnover putter here.
Yeah, this is Ricky Wysocki land. When you're talking about top touring pros, you mean the top. He was way down there.
Really?
What a great upshot, too, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Circle 1, and this averaged 4.06 during the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. The Disc Golf Pro Tour playoffs. And he's going to have a birdie look.
It's very tidy from Paul.
Yeah, he's a cleanup master. He makes sure that he's right at the Circle 1. He doesn't have to get too long of putts. And there's Dibattista throwing a forehand, which I'm not used to seeing too much, but he's getting much better at it.
Gillis is going to have to find a gap.
Not much gaps here through the woods, so he's going to have to go all the way around. And yeah, good thing we have that side rail there.
I think Casey White was there last year in the same place, and he punched through. But you're right, Gillis took the out and around path. Paul cleans up his par.
And then just discussing who's going to go next. I believe Harry's going to go tap in his birdie look here. What an awesome start for him. And taking one on the card here.
Yeah, only birdie of the 4. You see, Paul was wearing those heavy-duty winter gloves, just letting you know sort of how much the wind was whipping, how cold it was.
And it's a really good hole 1. I mean, just being able to air it out and then kind of approach a green that is a little tricky. There's out of bounds. I mean, it's just an excellent hole 1.
Heading on to hole 2, we're going back up the hill. It's a 381-foot par 3. Harry now has a 2-stroke lead, and he has the box.
Absolute rope with his Grady shoe PD. He loves this thing. He's going to be throwing a lot, especially in this wind, and he gets all the way up there, folks. We're going to see our first replay here. So this was a change of the format for you. Last year we did pretty much every tournament under the sun in Massachusetts. This year we did 11 tournaments that we chose and one qualifying event, the Sunstein Open. How did you think that everything went this year, Steve?
Well, we tried to simplify the series. People always ask me how they get points, and I would have to explain, okay, it's every tournament, and spent a lot of time doing math in a spreadsheet. So we made 2 changes this year. We simplified it. There were only 12 tournaments, as you said, 11 plus the Sunstein Open. And then we had Statmando on board this year to keep track of everyone. So we had a website, statmando.com/ranking/Sunstein Series, where people could check their progress throughout the year. I think it worked well. We tried to pick the 12 biggest and most important New England-based tournaments.
Yeah, I thought you did an unbelievable job, and you did choose the best ones. We had a couple A tiers. We had a couple local, to Massachusetts, like Daisyland. I was just really thrilled to be part of it, and I thought people were very invested in it. I can't wait to see what we do next year.
So far, we have a bunch of good drives here. Gillis is going to hop over the wall. So it looked like Harry's pin high, Josh maybe a little bit short of that, and then Gillis just over the wall, and Paul in the gully. So I think Paul is up next.
Yeah, Paul wasn't able to get the full flight on his. He hit the wall. That wall was not there last year. Always making improvements. Shout out to Maple Hill. Would have loved to seen that go in. Continue his hot streak for his season as well as his tournament.
It's a tough putt. He's maybe like 15 feet below the basket. It was obviously a longer putt than that, but just up to, down to up. He had to put a lot of force into it.
Absolutely, but he's used to playing here with all those logs with Simon Lazat. I mean, he should be able to hit that. Let's see what Debo does here. Oh, right in the heart. That's what you're going to see from this Maine All-Star, one of the top-rated players from there, as well as in New England. Very consistent. I mean, 70 wins under his belt.
So Josh was last year's runner-up, and he was right there at the end of the 2022 Grand Prix. And he got into the 2023 Grand Prix at the final event at Nantucket Open, qualified his way, booked his spot, and then made the final round. What a pro.
Yeah, he was texting me, did I get in? Did I get in? I was like, Steve hasn't given me the update. Stop Mando, we're waiting. But they did
Harry,
a great
2
job.
for
Like
2.
you said. It was great having Stab Mando under our belt. I mean, they were great partners of yours. And Harry getting an awesome birdie on the field. You know, Josh got one, he got one. Paul's going to take his par, and so is Gillis. This hole averaged 2.83 during the Disc Golf Pro Tour playoff, so I think that shows you, you know, pretty much that our field is really good. Almost half the field got that there.
There's hole 3 at Maple Hill, a 407-foot par 3 on a reverse S kind of curve. Harry needs it to turn a little bit more, and I don't think that it did.
Yeah, he was hoping he would get a little more turn out of the gate there. But this is a flex shot. This is something that Debo likes a lot. I know that he's going to be throwing his Glow Thunderbird here. I mean, he is – look at that silky S-line shot that he just threw there. He's about 35 feet short, but he has a great look for birdie.
It's a great shot. It reminds me of Casey's shot last year. Casey is watching this hole. You can see in the background, and that just perfect flight is what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like he turned it over.
He did. I don't think he trusted the flex. He just kind of wanted to get through the gap, I think. I think he kind of did a little cheat code there. And here's Gillis. He's going to be throwing his teal ginger. Wow, what a shot here.
God, it sure is. And he's liking it, too. What a great shot. He's inside Harry, it looked like.
He's got sneaky power. I mean, that explosiveness. The drive is just on point. This is a great camera shot, once again, by Quinten Scott. He owns this angle. The Pro Tour needs to hire him. Oh, wait, they did.
And we're lucky to view his work today. He's been a GMT stalwart and a friend of Sunstein for a long time.
Master at work. And here's Harry in a tough jam. Oh, my gosh, getting a really bad kick to the left, even more left than he was, but he got some forward momentum. And Paul's just going to simplify the game. Just textbook right up there. Nothing too crazy. Tactic right up there. So it looks like Harry's going to be suffering maybe his first potential bogey, depending on how far he is. It's
he's
not
at least taking a bogey. He went birdie, and now a putt for bogey.
Let's see if he can capitalize at least on this putt here. Wow. That's a good putt. He could have got a double. His hair is swinging. And he's feeling okay after that. I mean, he could have got a double and then been tied, but he still has that lead, so he knows that.
But Paul's in for par, picking up a stroke on Harry, and here's Josh. And he just missed the par putt there.
And here's Gillis for his birdie. Wow. Got all the way up there. And this hole averaged 2.93 during the Disc Golf Pro Tour playoff. So, I mean, that's kind of what the card did right here for us, right on par. I mean, that's how good these guys are. They're averaging 10, 20 golf week in, week out in New England.
Hole 4 at Maple is a 246-foot par 3 down the hill through a small gap. Got to get it to stop before the water, and we don't have as much sponsor advertising to stop people as they do during the Maple Hill MVP Open. Gillis throws it long, but gets some nice tree play and stops about pin high left.
He's going to have a circle's edge putt. Nothing's easy down there, but he got kind of lucky that it stopped. Here's Paul with his tactic. Just a little low. The wind probably pushed it a little lower than he wanted it to. You can see that wind coming back up the hill there.
And he got caught in that first terrace box. Harry's right in the way.
Yeah, he does that quite a bit. It's hard on this tee box because there's not much room to move left or right. But we got this rewind.
I'm glad we got that because it was worth watching.
It really was. That was a great shot, Harry. That was most likely his P2 right there. And Josh is going to be taking his judge. He's been loving his judges, especially that turquoise one lately. And he's going to have a circle one putt. Looks like a birdie to me. Yeah, that was a little bit of an aggressive run for Paul. Not really used to that.
That was really surprising. From behind it, I did not see that gap. I'm not sure whether he just tugged on that or what. He's trying to just get it to Heiser and die at the basket. Wow, what a putt that was, though.
Yeah, he's the comeback king. I mean, he didn't have a comeback season. He didn't need to because he was always at the top there. But when the putts matter, like this one here, he's one of the best I've ever seen. I'll be honest.
It's such a beautiful release. It's short and simple and stabby, and it just goes where it needs to go. 4 straight pars for Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he wants a birdie, but he's okay with the par, especially in these conditions. I mean, the ratings you saw, 1060 for the checkered flag layout, and it was only -7. It wasn't anything exhausting. And, you're looking at 6,000 feet, but -7 average, 1050, 1060, just because how bad the wind was. Oh, Harry.
Oh, wow.
Uncharacteristic. Maybe he was a little excited. You know how we all get excited for putting in the circle there. And I really like this hole. I like the downhill aspect. I like the OB. Obviously, it's pretty, and it's just continuing on why I think Maple's the #1 course. It's just fantastic.
It was a blustery day, but the colors on the trees were absolutely spectacular. Wow, that barely stayed in, but Josh will take it. We had so much rain this year in New England. It rained every weekend. So I'm glad we weren't getting wet, but I think the rain sort of helped the colors stay really bright this late into the season. So we're seeing Maple Hill at its most beautiful, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the October 20th weekend. I mean, it's probably the peak foliage time frame, and you're going to see some awesome colors. Here's Josh Dibattista. He said, I'm not going to go during that windstorm. I'm going to take the safe route. Veteran play here. I really like it. And Gillis, who's a rookie on the Grand Prix, he's actually going to follow Debo's advice here. So you can tell that sometimes even the rookies, even though they're rookies, they're following the veteran moves because they're playing smart.
And that's not an easy – I mean, so there's 2 routes to the basket on the backhand line, straight up the gut or a more Heiser line. They're both tree-filled. Here comes Paul on the traditional forehand route.
The wind pushed it down, but he got over it. Oh, nice. Here we go. Replay. Anytime it's a replay on this hole, it's going to be close. Oh, my gosh. Wow, Paul, we've seen a few of those from you this year, and I love it. We love it.
What a skip, though. This is a crazy skip. Harry, absolutely. Just inside of that. Wow, buzz in the tower as well. 2 great shots.
Yeah, both of them taking their FD3s there. Smart plays, fighting the wind and making sure that they fade back. Awesome shots there. But yeah, going back to, this route that Gillis took, it's definitely the tighter route, this left side that he went. He might just not be used to taking that either route, and he just said, you know what, I'm not going to risk it. I'll just take it, and I'll take my par if I can.
Well, he's got a circle's edge putt for par. It won't be easy.
Look at that wind. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's ripping.
Great angle by Quinten Scott here. Just shows you how windy it is as well as how dangerous it can be. That's not going to be easy putt behind the tree for Josh with the wind. And you have to be literally in bullseye in order to feel comfortable in this sort of wind.
This is a total death putt here into a headwind. Paul almost made it.
He almost got his birdie on again. Oh my gosh. But That
It was
was
like a
so
Simon
good.
Lizotte dad putt, that little push, and it just found the bottom of the tray.
Yeah, his blue spice might not have gotten him there all the way. At least his putter did. That was a great looking putt. Let's get a replay here. Look at the gallery watching too. I love this angle from Quinten. Yep, got it.
Right.
This hole averaged 2.65, so kind of a must get for this field as well as the Disc Golf Pro Tour players.
Nice birdie for Harry. In the background there was David Fleck, who qualified for the Grand Prix and missed the second round. The other members who qualified at MPO were Casey White, Kyle Moriarty, David Fleck, and Dylan Capiccioli. And unfortunate air ball there for Josh.
What an all-star cast that you just mentioned, though. I mean, those are some of the legends, some of the rookies, some of the veterans. I mean, that's just a great cast that you just mentioned there. And some of the past champions.
Yeah, all of our past champions. I mean, outside, like Simon Lizotte is the only other player. If you had a list of the top 10 male pros in New England, I mean, he's really the only one we're missing this year.
And he won one of them. He won.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. He was only a few points shy of qualifying, but he's on a national tour and doesn't have as much opportunity to play the local events. Harry on hole 6 hits a limb and gets a kick to stay in bounds.
Yeah, that was a fortunate kick. That was his method, trying to fight the wind downhill. This is a really tough and tight hole. This is one that always gives people trouble. And here is Gillis. He's going to be taking his salt again.
Did that stay in bounds? Doesn't look like it.
It hit something and fell straight down.
I can't recall. I think it did.
You can hear the wind rustling the microphones here.
Yeah, and sometimes the wind was actually knocking over my monopod, so sorry if it shakes at times. One of the windiest days I think we've ever filmed. And Paul's going to be on the left-hand pocket, but he should be able to save his par with a nice flexing Annie forehand. An unfortunate kick for Debo. He does go out of bounds.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But that's what makes this hole so difficult. This is one of the hardest holes on the course, and even in perfect conditions, in a day like today, it just played so tough.
Wow, unbelievable upshot by Debo there.
You can't even see what I know, but everyone's screaming. I'm just so excited. I hope we get a replay from the catch cam.
Oh, we're going to get a replay. GMT does not mess around with their replays. And watch how close this gets.
Oh my gosh.
So he gets a little bit of a love tap after going out. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. I mean, he's in the finals, a very long season. This is what you get for making it.
It almost plinkoed in. Wow, look at the wind there. Harry just a total hyzer and just get it as close as he can. But any lift there, and that could be straight out of bounds.
And he's going to have a circle 1, circle 2 look. Gillis was in bounds.
Okay.
And this is his actually second shot. Oh my gosh, he was going to go about a mile deep. He says all luck this hole, but we'll take it. This is what you get for having a very tough season. You kind of need some love and you need a little bit of reward.
It looked like Paul might have got a little love there with that roll out to the right, making this putt a little bit shorter. Ripping tailwind.
Yeah, for 3. Oh my gosh.
This is a great putt.
It's quite a par save after, not getting the best kick. Some people would just sort of get frustrated. Paul never quits. He focuses even harder, and he makes sure that he tries as hard as he can to make those putts, because every putt matters for him. And that's why he's now 1020, and he was only 990 when he won his Grand Prix as an amateur last year.
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, excuse me, yes.
Yep. That's 6 straight pars for Paul, and here's Harry for a par. Yep. Great scramble for par for Harry. Harry is 2 down through 6 in some of the craziest conditions we've seen.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Paul's, playing really par golf right now, but par golf is averaging 1030, 1040. I mean, this is very difficult golf here that we're seeing here. Here's Harry off the tee on hole 7. He's going to be throwing his Grady Shoe PD once again. Look at all this action, this ground play.
He's pin high right on an extremely difficult hole, very, very tight. He's finding a way to hit his lines today. It's just the quality of golf from Harry. The whole day so far has been unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very similar to when he won the Welcome to the Jungle. He's playing just great golf, very consistent. Paul's going to be a little bit caught up on the left, but he got a good enough distance. Meanwhile, Debo did not get much off the tee, so this is going to be a lot of scramble for Debo here.
So he's short left, sort of near number 8 tee, I assume. Wow, how did that get through?
He's got
wow
power. I don't know what it is, but it's sneaky main power that they must do a bunch of push-ups in the winter or something.
Right, it barely looked like he moved his arm at all. It was like all flick wrist, and he got it all the way up there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 400-foot hole, and he was probably 300 feet on that shot easily.
Look at this shot. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is insane. He just said that was his best shot of his life.
Incredible.
We're witnessing history here, folks. I mean, this is some history for these players there. And Paul, unfortunate. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that from out of Paul. I don't know if he just really didn't have anything, was in a jam, but let's see if he can knock down this 45-footer on hole 7. Oh my gosh.
Of course he can. This is what he's been doing all season. He just doesn't miss.
I think he's won 3 A tiers, 5 B tiers, almost $20,000. His first, like what I would consider his first MPO year.
Certainly his first full MPO year.
Yeah.
He was the amateur world champion last year, and his game has improved even so much since that time.
It's fun to watch. It's exciting to see what he's going to do every week. I check his scores and his tournaments almost weekly because I'm that engaged. And here we go. Here's Dibattista to save his par. Oh, man. That would have been one to write about.
Let's see if Harry can cash in this birdie.
It's Harry Chace. He's on fire today. Of course he can make that. And that was not easy. Uphill, 35 feet maybe. Just maybe circle's edge. Either way, he's pumped.
There's like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and Harry is 4 birdies already through 7 holes. On Maple Hill Gold.
Who does that? Harry Chace, apparently. He gives us a look back. He's smiling.
He's 4 strokes up heading into hole number 8. But Paul is not going to go away. Neither is Gillis. So let's see what happens here. And this is going to ride the wind. And it looks like it's going out of bounds. But it hits the very corner of the OTP wall and rolls towards the basket.
He just got the kick of a lifetime. That was a great kick, and that was actually a really good throw. Just lifted right at the end there, but he's back on the circle 1 and looking for his 5th potential birdie, playing the gold layout.
Watch this. I remember this. This is crazy.
Yeah, everybody was awestruck when that happened.
How did that not go into the drink? It took the craziest air bounce and went like up 20 feet, but then went out of bounds long.
It's that crosswind on hole 8. You just don't know what it's going to do on this hole. It's an awesome hole, 380 feet. Feels like 420 when you're throwing it. And what a great toss by Paul. He's going to have a circle's edge putt. Also, for birdie. Yeah, great shot, Paul. We really like that. And he's been putting hot, so most likely going to see that going in. Here's Debo. He slipped on the tee a little bit, but doesn't matter. He almost hits it anyway.
Absolutely parked. I don't think he liked it at all out of his hand, given the slip, but it just was perfect.
Yeah, and I asked him, was it a slip? But he said he actually stubbed his toe at the front of the tee box. So either way, again, great ace run. I mean, he was a foot away from cashing in on that. And you were talking about the colors. Take a look at this angle. I got to make sure I always get this shot every year. You know me, Steve. And here's why. I really just love the colors on this angle and the look here.
There's no place like Maple Hill.
Really isn't. Gillis taking his drop zone layup, smart. He's not running it. He plays like a veteran. I'm telling you, there's something. He's very young. I think he's only like 23 or something like that. Paul is heating up, folks. He's getting his birdie, finally getting a non-par look and cashing in on it.
Great birdie by Paul. Gets him within 3 of Harry. Wow. Pretty high, but not a bad. A great putt, and the chain said no problem with it. That's one for Paul. Yep.
Yeah. Harry's about 28 feet, I would say. He threw, looks like, his FD1 off the tee. So let's see if he can get the birdie. Wow. He's playing birdie. Out. I can't explain.
Fifth birdie of the round. Unbelievable. Yeah, I think everyone on the card is just sort of like, what is going on as Josh taps in. But so we're through, we're about to play our 27th hole of the day. Harry has just been unconsciously good. And everyone else is playing very, very good, given the conditions. But Harry is not missing. He's not missing off the tee, and he's not missing his putts.
And he's getting a little love. You just saw right there. He's hitting that board because he was a half inch from going out of bounds there. And here's some of the media crew. We got Marc Deblasio, Chasinthebees, local route photography. I mean, it's great to have that support out there.
I love the Grand Prix media team. Every year they do a fantastic job. Wow. We invite everybody who is with us during the year, who takes pictures. We have a couple of photographers, Dan and Gregory, and the 2 people you just mentioned, along with GMT. And we just want to invite everybody who loves New England disc golf to this event as a celebration of the season. And I'm just really excited every year. Grand Prix Day is my favorite day. I don't want to go without comment about new hole number 9. So this is the first time this tournament has played this hole. It was a new hole for the MVP Open. It's now basically the hardest hole. Certainly the hardest hole at Maple Hill. Maybe the hardest hole, one of the hardest holes on tour.
Yeah, it averaged 4.59. So let's see if these guys can handle just par on this. What a great rip by Gillis. I mean, that's the furthest of the bunch. He is up there probably 440 feet. He's going to have sort of an anti-look approach to the green.
Right. What do you think about this change to this hole from where it used to be?
I really like the old 9. I think it was a very signature-like hole. Now you just have a very wooded tunnel shot, but I get it. You almost needed this one to see a little more separation in the scores. So I get it, and shout out to Gage Benson because I think he's doing a great job at Maple Hill.
So we just saw Harry's 3rd shot, and now Paul, and that's an unfortunate cut roll for Paul.
Yeah, and I could see it being a par 5. I mean, they could play with the pars a little bit. And you can see what I was talking about with the anti-look. Oh, my gosh, Gillis. That would have been awesome to get down there for your potential birdie look, but now he's going to be shooting 3 from up top.
I don't know if it'll be a par 5 because Steve Dodge doesn't like par 5s, and Harry, again, with a hint of luck there, hit that board and get over onto the island.
I forgot he doesn't like par 5. So that's never going to happen. Take it back. But, you know, it averaged 4.6 in the tour. So, I mean, it's still a very difficult par for the par 4s. And Paul's just going to be opting out for his third shot. So, I mean, at best, he's looking at bogey unless he sinks one in. And here's Gillis, the best throw out of the bunch. That was his third shot. He's going to go OB there, unfortunately, but he does cross the tip of the island, so he's going to have a fortunate look to the basket. Ooh, I would have loved to see that, Paul. So I eat my words a little bit. He almost did run that and make it. I still like the fact that they're using this green. That's awesome.
Well, it's a beautiful green. I mean, the green complex is very, very nice. The second half of the hole plays interesting. There's always that OB danger, especially in the wind. I'm not sure how I feel about the first half of the hole. I think it'll take some time to season in.
Yeah. I mean, but it's very New England golf. I mean, if you go to New England Disc Golf Center, that's not going to look any stranger than most of those fairways in terms of, you know, some tight tunnel shots there.
Gillis does make his bogey there after going out of bounds.
And here is Paul Krans for his bogey. He's not very happy with it, but we just talked about how difficult it is. And he did kind of, you know, throw that third shot into the woods. Oh, unfortunate miss for Debo.
Josh is not having a lot of basket luck today, and that was his. He had that putt there to take the only par and gain a stroke on everybody, but it just didn't happen. There's a little guy.
Chipmunk Gate, if you all remember.
Oh yeah. It's gonna do it for our front nine. Harry has a 4-stroke lead over Paul and Gillis and Josh. And we'll be sure to see you on the back nine. Make sure you tune in. Thank you, Rivas.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sunstein LLP. Thank you to all the players that are playing in the series. We had a wonderful time. We can't wait to see what happens in the back.